A Thessalonian you're fighting. He's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him.
That's why no one will remember your name.
I'll go right.
Now, one of the catalysts of this Pacers defense, very similar to OKC, is that they have a number of players to apply ball pressure starting in the backcourt. They've done this throughout the playoffs and throughout this series, switching between guys like Nembhard, Naismith, Ben Shepherd, Matherin, and TJ McConnell. But in Game 5, early in the possessions, we've seen with a lot of that ball pressure, the Thunder began to counter, having Isaiah Hartenstein set these high screens. So when SGA comes off of it and them just trying to apply that ball pressure, it kind of got exposed a little bit. Here it is again early in transition. Hartenstein setting that high ball screen. You see how SGA has more room to operate. And Hartenstein, he sets real screens. Like, he's really good at that. He could plant right into the defender. He's good at rescreening. And he has high basketball IQ enough to know even if he has to set a flat screen right directly behind the defender, that way the defender has to go completely around him. But SGA just has more room to operate like this. And the reason why I bring up Game 5 before we see the adjustments in Game 6 with the Pacers ball pressure is the fact that OKC in the start of the series, they switched up. They went to a smaller lineup by putting Case and Wallace out there. And it was not until Game 4 where they put Isaiah Hartenstein back into that starting lineup. But right here in Game 6, there was also another adjustment. Of course, Isaiah Hartenstein continued to start, but in the third quarter, they elected to have him come off the bench for Alex Caruso. So the Thunder have made small tweaks throughout this series in order to adjust to a lot of the ball pressure coming from the Pacers player on SGA and J-Dub. In reality, the Thunder don't have too many ball handlers who could create for themselves, especially dealing with all that ball pressure. So that's where the Hartenstein tweaks we've seen throughout this series have really come into play. So fast forward into Game 6, as we can see SGA bringing up the ball. There's no ball pressure in the backcourt. Very unusual for this Pacers team throughout these playoffs. But now the pressure is going to be applied. And look at Miles Turner. He's meeting SGA at the line. Usually he's in drop back, but he's been getting burned all series. So why not apply that pressure now? And this is how the Pacers really force a lot of these turnovers. The Pacers defense now has switched up and only applying ball pressure in the half court. And at the same time, this shrinks the floor. Even on one-on-one situations, look at Hartenstein. He's not going to set these screens because there's not necessarily any ball pressure out here. But J-Dub dealing with Naismith just on his hip the whole time, just riding him out. And he turns the ball over. And let's not get it twisted. SGA and Jalen Williams didn't have a bad game. It's that the rest of the teammates didn't really have their shots going. I mean, just going into halftime, the star duo had 31 points while the rest of their teammates only had 11. So again, with his teammates just kind of struggling, look at Nembhard right here. He's going to stay on his hip and ride him the whole time. So his teammates are not hitting shots. So Nembhard just keeps the ball pressure. Guys are not afraid to back off of Lou Dort. They did a lot of that in this matchup. Guys are not hot, so the ball pressure gets real. Again, the Pacers not applying pressure on the backcourt. But look at Turner. Completely hedges. Forces SGA to make a wide turn right here. And look at Naismith. He sticks on SGA. And really the catalyst to all this is them not really worrying about Lou Dort. Because in this game, the way they were closing out on some of these three-point shooters, it was insane. See, Lou Dort is a person that they don't mind him taking that shot. Here's another example here where everything kind of comes together. Look at Turner, once again, meeting SGA at the line, not allowing him to make that turn. He's normally in drop back, so he closes that. But again, look how the Pacers rotate. Look at Nembhard. These guys were everywhere. And make no mistake about it, this is a collective effort. Look at Nembhard right here. He's going to ride that hip of SGA. Just stays with him. Doesn't allow him to get anywhere. We got to give kudos to Nembhard because look at right here. He was everywhere. It summed up his night. That's another beautiful thing about this series. Look at these two standing right next to each other. At times, going from game to game, they really mirror each other.